Hey, are you ready for a fun crafty video today? That's what I've got for you. This is Brandy from brandystamps.com, and this is an episode of the Great American Stampin Show, which is an amazing competition between 4 of the best stampers around to try to see who can come up with the best creation. We're basing our competition on the layouts, which are found on page 22 of Stampin' Up's annual catalog. I'll show you the one we're doing this time, and I hope you're going to like my video the best. Check mine out and then watch each of my 3 competitors. Their links are found in the description of my video, and all you have to do is just say like or thumbs up on whichever one that you like the best. Let's get started. Here is the Stampin' Up catalog, and if I flip to page 22, there is this awesome little feature down at the bottom of the page right here where you can see all of these great card layouts. This time we're on episode 4/layout number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one that we're going to be featuring today. I've got this little sketch here to show us what this layout looks like up close. So when I was looking at this, of course, the first thing I always see is definitely a card base. So that's the card base, and then we've got this layer that's bumped all the way over to the right edge, so maybe something like this. And I've cut this layer at 4.5 by 3 3/4, so you get a 1/2 inch border all the way around with it touching on the right side. And then we've got kind of 2 layers here for some kind of a little greeting down at the bottom. So here's kind of our basic pieces. Let's see what we can do with this. I decided to reach for my stamp set, Sending Love. This one is a favorite for me. I love this little mailbox image, and I have had my daughter on my mind. She is away in Peru serving as a missionary. I thought, oh, I'm going to send her a little love letter. So go ahead and give a shout out to LJ for all of her awesome service right there in the comments, and we're gonna work on making a cute card for her. So let's grab this big white layer. This is just crying out to be spattered with love and stamping and amazingness. I'm going to pull out my Memento ink pad and just start with this mailbox image. I'm just going to line this up kind of on the left edge. I'm looking at the post of the mailbox and making sure that it looks like it's straight alongside the edge of the card. Okay, now I just want this mailbox to be exploding with fun letters. So I'm gonna have one flying out right here and even drifting down. This is a missionary's dream come true when there's lots of mail for her, just like that. While I have my black ink pad out, I'm going to hop over to a couple of these little pieces, which will create my greeting strip. And this is a stamp from the set called Happy Little Things. So we've got kind of these layering, wishing, celebrate, love you. This is an online exclusive set, so don't miss that. Very cute set, and it has some fun coordinating dies. I'm just stamping the word love right onto this little scrap of Poppy Parade cardstock. Okay. Now, one of the other stamps says, "You are incredible," but I'm going to make this say, "Love you." So I'll just go right to the edge and just put "you." Now I've got my Poppy Parade ink pad to match this paper, and I'm using the coordinating love stamp, and I'm just filling in my black outline love. Let's set these little pieces aside for the moment and focus on doing some coloring here on my main image. I'm going to use the Crumb Cake Stampin' Blends to do the post. I'll use the Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends to do the mailbox. We'll do a little color in Real Red on my little flag, and just a little bit of grass here at the bottom, Old Olive. So my usual technique is to start with the light shades. So I've got my light crumb cake right here, and I'm coloring my entire space with the light color. Now I'm using the dark crumb cake to do some of these other kind of highlight parts of the wood. Now I'm going to use my dark crumb cake to create some little kind of interest in this wood post. See how I'm just giving it some little darker lines. Wood is rarely a perfect one color shade, and so I'm just giving it a little texture here. And then I'll come back with my light crumb cake and go over the whole thing again to sort of pull that color in so those lines won't look so drastic. Okay, I've done something similar here with the mailbox where I've gone over everything with my light Smoky Slate, just the inside mostly and the outside of the box. And now I'm going to give it kind of a shadow with the darker Smoky Slate. I'm going to go right around this edge with the dark and get this little bolt in the middle there. And now I tend to go back to the light shade to finish things off. Like I'm going to blend this up now with the light color to kind of pull my shadows. And maybe just add a second layer in some areas here. We've colored our little flag with the red, and now I'm coming in with the pointier tip of my light old olive and just doing some nice pointy brushes for this grass. Okay, we have got our mailbox pretty much colored here. I love to go to my Stampin' Blends whenever I want some dynamic color, but I don't want to put a ton of time into it. I find them to be so simple, but yet a lot of fun options with layering color onto your project. The next thing I'm going to do is to add a beautiful sky using my Balmy Blue and this awesome Stampin' Up brush. These are the ones that are so incredibly soft that you can just brush color onto your project. I've got one of the large ones here. I'm going to spread color around up onto here to create a sky, but I want the envelopes to stay white. So I'll use a quick little technique called masking. In order to do some masking, all I have to do is to use you could use any ink pad, but I'm going to use Memento since I've already got it out. I already used the envelope in that color. I'm going to stamp 3 quick little envelopes. I will cut these out with my paper snips, and when I do, I will cut them very close, right on that outside black line. Okay, so here are my 3 little envelopes to use as masks. Now these are incredibly thin because I stamped and cut these out just from basic copy paper, like the kind of paper that would be in my computer printer. And now I'm going to use a special glue that actually can be temporary. So this is a 2-way glue pen, and I'm going to color a bit of glue on here. This stuff actually stays sticky for a minute, and then as it dries, it turns so it's just tacky. So it's no longer going to give a permanent adhesive. And that's what I want. I want to put these in place and have them stay down for a minute while I'm masking, but then I want to be able to lift them back up out of the way and expose my stamped ones from underneath. Okay, I want to make sure these get completely dry. So while these are over here drying, just slide them over here. Let's work on our cute little love you piece that we have started here. So see how I've got love and then I have you, and do just a simple diagonal slant cut right there. So we cut off the word you. Now let's roll some seal adhesive just next to the word you. This is where the love can stick on. Just want it to be something like this so you comes out from underneath it. And then we'll have a bit of the white showing on this side as well. So I'm going to give it a matching slant. And I do that just by taking the same little piece that I already cut off. I'll just kind of hold it right here and use it as a little guide so I can get the matching slant on both sides. Okay, so that is looking ready to use on our card. I'll set it back up here. Now let's check these out. Okay, they are definitely tacky, no longer wet. So all I'm going to do is go back to our main little image here, and we'll stick one on top of each of our envelopes. Okay, so now I've got these covered up or masked so that I can remove those later and expose the white envelopes underneath. So let's jump into our balmy blue ink pad with our Stampin' brush here. We're gonna pick up a bunch of ink, but then I always go to my scratch paper first because you'll get like a really dark bit of ink first, and I want that to go onto my scratch paper. Kind of treading a little gently over my envelopes. I don't wanna go so rough that I lift them right off. And I'm only going part way down. I'm leaving kind of what would be the ground floor. I'm going to sponge that in green. Okay, now I've got my old olive ink and more of a green brush. Same thing, I'll sponge on my scratch paper and then come up here and let lots of the green color go to my ground level. And I'll just let those two colors really blend. Okay, time for our big reveal. Lift off our envelope masks. And you can actually keep these little guys in your package with your stamp set. And then if you want to do a masking technique again sometime, you've already got the envelopes done, which is cool. Perfect. Doesn't this look so stark now? Those white envelopes really stand out and give it a special look, but I didn't have to do any popping up or cutting or different envelopes. They're just part of that main layer. So let's come back to our card base here. And before I glue this on, I'm going to give it a black layer just to help it stand out. You can always find the measurements that I used on my card right in the description of my video. So if you want to create this again and know exactly my sizes, you are welcome to check that out. And here's how our layout goes. I love this idea where you bump the main image all the way over to the right edge. We so often are giving it a perfect frame or doing the tilting. It's fun to do something a little different here and line it up but with one edge. So now I've got my card with the main image off to the side. I have my double layered greeting here to put down on the side. I'm going to add a couple more fun details. First of all, a layer of twine. This is our linen thread, and I'll just wrap it twice and tie a bow off to the left side. Okay, and when I attach this piece, I'm going to use some dimensionals to do that. Just peel those off and place this right down low. I'm sneaking a little glue dot behind here just to keep this bow right where I want it. So I just put the glue dot on the tip of my Take Your Pick tool, rolled it up and placed it right underneath the knot. So I don't get any sticky up top, but I also am not getting that bow flopping around or coming undone. For my final addition, I've got the little row of hearts from the Around the Bend dies, and I placed some of our adhesive sheets on the back before I cut this out through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And so I got the little set of 5 adorable hearts with peel off adhesive on the back. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool again to help me place these. I'll just remove the backing and then place the heart kind of on the little point, and that helps me know where I'm laying the heart down. Then I can just use my fingertip to catch it and press it into place. Okay, and there is my last little heart, and I have completed a fun card using layout number 4 from the catalog. I am super proud of how this card turned out. I love it. I think my daughter's going to love it when I send this off to her. If you guys know Lily Jane, or even if you don't, let me know what I should say to her in this card. You can send me a message from you, and I'll add some extra notes in here from the comments of this video. So tell me what you would say to Lily Jane. And I hope you enjoyed watching this card come together. I know I had a great time making it. As always, I had so much fun creating with you guys today. I hope you'll love my card the most and that you'll give it the thumbs up. If you haven't seen my competitors yet, check out my description. Each of their links are found there. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so you don't miss any of the crafty fun. I've also got links to hop in for my Facebook group or my email list, whatever you want to do. And I will be back next Thursday with the next episode of the Great American Stampin' Show. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!